And with us now, Fox News contributor Liz Peek, Maslansky Partners president Lee Carter, and National Review staff writer Caroline Downey. So Democrats are singing the blues, no hint to your wardrobe there. But I'll just go out to you, Liz, first of all, or to Lee, rather, first of all, on the polling. Now we're not paying attention?
You know, I think it's clever that they're going to try to find an excuse for it, but it's not the truth. The truth of the matter is the Democrats have lost support even among their own party. They had 87% support. Now they're down to 77%. Republican support is increasing, on the other hand. They cannot accept the fact that the president is actually winning people over. The price of eggs is coming down. People are starting to feel a little bit better about the economy. They're looking at the tariffs and they're saying maybe it's not as tragic as everybody said it was going to be, and there's going to be some deals that are going to be made. And this is something that there's a longer term strategy that people are starting to see. So he's getting the benefit of the doubt. Hope's starting to come back, and they can't see it. They've got to explain it away. But it's not because people aren't paying attention. I think it's because they are.
Liz, I saw that article and I thought they have not been discredited enough.
I agree.
That they are searching, the New York Times et al. Are searching for new ways to discredit themselves. Like reporting fake stories and fake scandals. That wasn't enough. Let's just gin up this heaping, steaming pile of you-know-what.
I agree 100%. Plus, in this poll, I think Trump's approval rating was 42%. In the Real Clear Politics average, it's more like 46, 47%. So the numbers are a little wacky. And the poll, actually, that they showed is not even internally consistent. But the thing that really ticked me off, Dagan, is that the example they showed of someone being out of touch was that people didn't know all about the Abrego Garcia deportation to El Salvador, a story that they must have run 1,000 pieces on. And guess what? To the rest of the country, it may not be top of mind that an alleged gangbanger was sent home to El Salvador. But for New York Times readers, that obviously makes you a discerning reader of the news. I mean, it was so absurd. But by the way, the poll, I mean, you would know better than I, but I thought the poll was extremely off on a lot of different things. Among other things, the fact that they showed people approving of deporting everyone in the country illegally, but then they didn't like Trump's approach to immigration. So, I mean, it didn't even make sense.
Well, okay, it's the New York Times, so we can stop there at that. But, you know, Caroline, remember they blamed the victim, the oppressor, the oppressed? Now we're supposed to be the victims because people are not paying attention. But if you were paying attention to them, you were the hero when they were lying to you. And to Dagan's point, the real stories versus the fake stories, they've lied to us about the truth for so long. So are Americans really that dumb as they hope they are?
Well, right. It's another classic gaslighting tactic. And to your point, I think Trump's approval is benefiting from the fact that his old foil, Joe Biden, is unfortunately now back in the spotlight as the conspiracy to hide his cognitive decline has actually been revealed to be much deeper than we originally thought. And I think voters are feeling that the deception of the last administration knew no bounds. And I think to Lee's point is that when it comes to the economy and the border, those two things compounded together. Clearly, he is delivering on his promises. The border is very secure. He's enjoying immense popularity on that front. And when it comes to the economy, I don't understand why the New York Times is confused about that, because he initiated this trade war. So he was the author and architect of that. That means he could control its execution and its timeline. So if the markets were upset, he was able to relieve pressure and orchestrate this the way he envisioned.
Yep, 1.6% inflation, too. Yeah. Let's move on to this. Hillary Clinton is out with her latest diss on Republican women. Take a listen.
What advice do you have for the first female president of the United States?
Well, first of all, don't be a handmaiden to the patriarchy, which kind of eliminates every woman on the other side of the aisle, except for very few. Lisa Murkowski.
Liz Cheney.
Yeah, there's a few.
Who hates Hillary Clinton more than I do? She talks about Republican women as just being like about growing families, and that's all we're there for, is just to procreate. In that sense, I might be her worst, biggest nightmare, because I don't have children, and I am hardcore, dug-in conservative. And there's nobody who is kowtowed more to a man than that wretch.
Well, I think
right? I mean, she's stuck with that philandering bag of wind just for the power. What's worse than that?
I mean, talk about the oligarchy. But the big thing that I think the Democrats have to just get over is they cannot believe that a woman would support a Republican unless there were somehow a Handmaid's Tale, or if we were somehow under some kind of demonic control, or just misinformed. And it is so insulting. And that's why Democrats are losing so many women, because we say enough is enough. We have brains. We're looking at this, we're watching it, and we're making decisions for ourselves.
I think it just pisses her off that women are making their own decisions, and she's not telling, by the way, Democrat women, independent women who switch their voting. And to you, Liz, we've talked about this before. They don't like women thinking for themselves.
Well, remember that whole thing about how there were no strong Republican women? Boy, look at the Trump White House. It is full of strong, powerful women. And I find that comment so incredibly offensive, Dagan. I'm totally with you. It's divisive, it's nasty, and it's completely untrue, right?
They only like women if they're born with penises.
Yes, that's true. They cannot define.
And those penis wearing
Owning.
those women with penises who beat up real women.
We don't really have an interest in listening to a party that cannot define what a woman is, to your
Amen.
point, Dagan. But you know what else is interesting about that comment she made? It's very antiquated. I'm a Gen Z woman. Gen Z women largely are rejecting this kind of outdated fake feminism of the 1990s. This girl boss rhetoric is really not persuasive to us anymore. 7% more of us actually went for Trump in 2024 than 2020, because turns out we care about the economy a little bit more than the patriarchy.
All right.
Amen. Jump in.
Ladies, thank you.
Liz Peek, Lee Carter, Caroline Downey, thank you all.